Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah wallahu akbar wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Glory be to Allah, all praise to Allah. There is no God but Allah.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Dear viewers, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Habiba Ibrahim Kukoyi and the host for today's program tagged The Virtuous Woman. Inshallah, our topic for today, as usual, is one that is very interesting and one that concerns us as female folks and as Muslim women. What is this topic? The topic is motherhood, a destined career. I'm sure you know that this is a very, very interesting and germane topic. I have my guest here seated and she is going to do justice to this topic. But before I introduce her, let's go on a quick short break.
وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ وَأُولَئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. ولا تكونوا كالذين تفرقوا واختلفوا من بعد ما جاءهم البينات وأولئك لهم عذاب عظيم.
Al-Muminat Organization, a group of pious Muslim women upholding the tenet of Al-Islam premised on Al-Quran and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet. Al-Muminat Organization's activities include weekly and monthly tarbiyah, a gathering where women are sermonized, house-to-house and mosque-to-mosque dawah, e-vocational training for empowering women, Unity Day, Al-Muminat Training Forum, ATF, a camping program where women are taught in line with the dictate of Allah and the Holy Prophet. To be part of this laudable and rewarding project, contact Al-Muminat headquarters at number 1 Thani Olodo Street, Jibowu Bus Stop, Yaba, or send your contributions to the following bank accounts. For more information, call 0802-950-6613 or 0805-531-9534. Al-Muminat Organization, the believing women.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, the program is The Virtuous Woman and our topic for today is motherhood, a destined career. To do justice to this topic for us is an accomplished personality. She is a mother as well and she is an accomplished mother. She knows what it entails to be a mother. She is Hajia Bushra Ali. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's nice having you here today. Thanks for coming.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Let's go to the topic, motherhood, a destined career. Please tell us, what does motherhood entail?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We thank Almighty Allah, first of all, for making us women and on top of it all, making us to be a mother. When we talk about motherhood, motherhood is the act of raising and training children. As a mother, the primary assignment of a woman is to take care of children. Any other work that a woman takes up becomes secondary. And Almighty Allah has done it in such a way that even the nature of nurturing, caring, and training has been dedicated to the nature of women. And that is why when you talk about the issue of equality, it's not about the way a woman treats a child, because a man is made up of a physical and psychological setup which is completely different from that of a woman. But for a woman, she has been made in such a way that she can cope with all the stress and all the streams of caring and training children. So when you talk about motherhood, it's about a woman taking care, nurturing and training a child. So and when we talk about the motherhood being a destined career, is one thing that is a lifelong career. At any point in time, you don't have a stoppage in your life as a woman, because by the time you finish taking care of your own child, your grandchildren are there. So it's a lifelong thing.
And you also become a mother to those grandchildren.
Yes, also. Normally, because one way or the other you have to interact with them, and you have to pass on so many other things to these grandchildren. So it is a destined career for women.
Knowing the fact that the psyche of a woman is, or women have already been ingrained with the ability to withstand the stress of motherhood, what would you say are the things that are expected of an expectant mother, knowing that when we get married, the next thing is for the wife to get pregnant and then she becomes an expectant mother? So what are the things she is expected to do? What are the things she has to do when she gets pregnant?
Thank you. So when we talk about the issue of motherhood in Islam, the basis for motherhood is that you have an Islamic nikah. That is, you must be out to choose the right partner. Is the basis, because you cannot just jump that act, because this is an act that Almighty Allah himself has enjoined on us, that even those people that are poor, the community has to organize for them to get married. Islam does not support illicit sexual act or a situation when a man would fall into a woman and eventually they get pregnant out of wedlock. So the first thing is that as a lady, you look for a responsible man who is virtuous. At the end of the day, you get marriage contract. After getting married, normally bikudratillah, what you expect is to get pregnant. During pregnancy, is the situation of motherhood starts. Even the first thing is, by the time the man and the woman want to meet, Islam recommends that it should not be just like that. You should call the attention of Allah to it through prayer. Ask Almighty Allah to guide your relationship from the influence of shaitan. Aside from that, by the time the woman gets pregnant, you are expected to take all the precautions. Starting from the spiritual, you have to be prayerful, because before you became pregnant, you have been only one. Now you are pregnant, you may be 2, 3 or more than that, and that makes the task more cumbersome for you, and you need to put in more effort. So if you have been praying for 10 minutes, you need to extend it to 20, 30 minutes, because now you are focusing on more than just an individual. Aside from that, you are expected to have the right knowledge. You need to learn about what are the happenings during pregnancy and know how to actually cope with the stress of pregnancy. You need to attend antenatal clinic regularly to take care of you and that of the child in you. And another thing is, take all the precautions like eating very well, taking adequate rest before giving birth. So as an expectant mother, you are expected to take all these precautions, and any test that may be required, you are expected to take it. All the drugs that you are expected to take, you take them as and when due. And after then, normally is delivery. By the time you deliver, the situation of motherhood continues, because it is the type of child that you have nurtured that you actually gave birth to. And by the time you give birth to a child in Islam, it is expected that you welcome the child to the world in the name of Almighty Allah. And that is why the first thing that you do by the time you give birth to a child is that you recite into the right ear the adhan, that is the call to prayer, so that the first word that the child will hear is the name of Allahu Akbar. So attending to him and letting him know that actually he is welcome to the world. Then the left ear, you recite the iqamah, that is something that you recite before you start the prayer. And immediately you give birth to the child, it is expected that you recite a special prayer on him or her, because just like the Prophet ﷺ informed us that every child that is born into the world is being touched by the follower of Shaitan, and the name of that follower is Subiyan. And for you to guard your child against such, you have to pray unto her. Uizuki or Uizuka bi kalimati llahi tammat min kulli shaitani wa hammat wa min kulli ainin lamat. That, oh Allah, I seek your refuge on this my child against that which is evil and against the evil eye. So, and that is why once you have done that, this follower of Shaitan will run away from that child, and any evil eye will not touch that child again. And another thing that is done immediately after birth is known as tahanik. This tahanik is for you to get something that is sweet, like honey or date. You get a virtuous person, and if there is none around, if you are a mother that is conscious, you can chew date, and use your hand to rub it on the mouth of the newborn child. Pray for him or her, and by that you can be rest assured that the child is welcome into the world on the fitra of Al-Islam.
All these you've said are just to welcome the child.
Yes.
Oh my God, the duties of a mother is such a cumbersome duty. Well, after when you give birth, what are the challenges you have to look out for being a mother?
Normally, as a mother, being a mother is one of those duties that are stressful, and one needs to get acquainted with all that one has to do in order for the task to be easier for one. So one thing is, once you give birth to a child, some of the challenges is that there will be stress of taking care of that child. For one thing is, you have to take care of him by taking his bath, by preparing the food, by cleaning up and doing all sorts. If you don't have somebody around you, it may be actually very, very stressful. So, but as a mother, you need to be on the look, and that is where the issue of knowledge actually counts. You need to be knowledgeable about what and what to expect after childbirth. It will give you a lot of information on how to cope with the stress. Because there are some child, once you give birth to them, they will not sleep in the night. They will be awake throughout the night, and it is only in the day that they will sleep.
Wow, that shows that the duty of a mother is one that should not be toyed with. Alhamdulillah, dear viewers, I hope you are learning one or two things from what our mother here is trying to tell us. Let's take a quick short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. The program is still The Virtuous Woman, and our topic for today is Motherhood, a Destined Career. Yes, please, you were talking about the challenges of a mother after she gives birth. Please go ahead, please.
So when we are on the challenges, as I've told you, there are sometimes when the child will not sleep when you are sleeping. So you need to learn the routine of the child, so that when he's sleeping, you just have to sleep in order for you to get relieved.
Wow.
If not, you just be, at the time that he's awake, you'll be feeling sleepy, and so many things can happen. Another thing is learning how to breastfeed your child, because breastfeeding is one of the enormous tasks of taking care of a child, and that is why some mothers shy away from it. Some cannot even sit down for the next 20 minutes breastfeeding a child. So to them, they prefer feeding their child on this canned baby milk, so that at the end of the day they will be relieved. They will just pack the child filled up with this thing, and the child off he goes to sleep. But most of the time, this thing affect the children, and day in day out they are giving us the benefit of breastfeeding. And that is why one of those challenges is that as a mother, you must learn to sit down at a time, feed your child averagely for 30-45 minutes and even 1 hour. And you find out for the next 3-4 hours you are free from that child and it's free from you. So you can actually plan your time to do 1 or 2 things before the child actually wakes up from sleep.
So you're trying to tell us that motherhood has to do with time management. If I get you right, we have to be able to manage our time. What do you think about women marrying their career with being a mother? Because that is one of the challenge that I see that women who are mothers face. How do we marry our career, our workplace with the fact that we are a mother?
That is actually what the topic is about. That when you look at motherhood itself is a career in itself. And in Islam, Islam does not want you to be a liability as a woman. So, but one thing is, if you have to work, you must look for a work that will give you enough time to attend to your primary assignment. For the first assignment of a woman is taking care of a child. And that means, that is why in Islam it is specified that it is preferred that a woman is a teacher, a doctor, or an health worker, or somebody that will do, or any work that will not take you far away from home.
I will give you time.
Enough time to take care of your children. Because there are times when these children actually needed us. And this today, you find out that so many distractions are there for women. Many of us, we want to act like men. We take up the same job as them, and we don't care about our children. These days, our homes are being controlled by house helps. So that even many of us are not known. Our children know our house help more than us. They are the ones that cook for them, the ones that clean for them, they are the ones that take them to school, do the assignment for them. And even on weekends, when we are expected to be there, we have these extracurricular activities. All the nikah around, all the weddings, all the burials, we attend everything. And these children are there. When they call us, when they needed our attention, we are not there. So as a Muslim woman, and if actually we want to live up to that motherhood, we need to know that any work that we want to do, we need to give time for our children. Attend to them, and don't be the type of mother that will move early in the morning and come back late in the night. And your days, make sure you share it responsibly with your children.
Talking about maids, what does Islam have to say about it? Because you talked about maids, and I don't know, is it permissible for us to have maids? Can't we have maids if we have a tight schedule in our workplace and elsewhere? How do we manage this situation?
That is one of the challenges of today. And one thing that actually brought it around is that many of us today, we live a nuclear family. When we talk about Islam, Islam is about extended family. And it believes that when we are living together, we live in a sort of symbiotic environment. When I don't see my child as my only child alone. My neighbor's child or children are my own children. So we are free to interact among ourselves. So you find out if anybody does anything wrong in any community or in any neighborhood, every member of that neighborhood will have to correct that child. But that is not what operates now. I live in my flat, you live in your duplex, and everybody on his own.
You face your business.
Yes. So, and even if you control any child outside your home, that child can ask you, "Mommy, but you are not my mother." But when we talk about Islam, the first thing is that Islam wants you to live among yourself as one big family. So it's preferred for you, for your neighbors, if you have dealt with them very well, you have related very well, to take care of you. When you are away, they will take care of your children for you. But in a situation where this one does not exist, Islam accepts it as a last resort. And the best thing is that it is even preferred, if you must have any, it should not be one that will stay in your house. Maybe we will come for a few hours, help me in your household, whatever, and go back. But in a situation that will be the one to cook, want to go and shop, want to go and take care of your children, even take care of your bedroom, attend to your husband, Islam does not allow this.
Wow, that is saying that some of these challenges, such as the maid that we are talking about, is one that we have brought up for ourselves, right?
Yes, just because we are giving, we are losing our priorities. If you have set our priorities right, we wouldn't have needed any help to take care of our children or our homes.
Quickly, how permissive should we be in training our children with home conveniences, the modern day conveniences? that we have now, how permissive should we allow them to make use of them, or should we restrict them from all these conveniences?
So those are one of the challenges of motherhood today, in the sense that when you find out, many of us, we go out to work in order for us to collect all these conveniences, washing machine, dishwashers, vacuum cleaner, so that at the end of the day the children does not know how to wash, they don't know how to wash the plates, they don't know how to sweep, because everything is there. Before you know it, they press on the button and the work is being done.
Do you think Islam permits us to use it, or should we restrict ourselves from
One thing is, Islam, anything that can lessen your burden, Islam is not against it. But in as much as we have them, we don't need to indulge our children with it.
So we need to be careful.
Yes, and we need to regularize the use at any point in time in order to give them the expected training.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Quickly before we go, please, I want you to tell us the prayer. You said you were quoting one prayer to us. The prayer you say when
you give birth to a child.
Yes. Please let's.
Uizuka bi kalimatillahi tammat min kulli shaytani wa hammat wa min kulli ainin lamat.
Please again.
Uizuka bi kalimatillahi tammat min kulli shaytani wa hammat wa min kulli ainin lama.
Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you very much. It's been a very wonderful time with our guest here, Hajia Bushra Ali. She has been able to tell us how cumbersome the role of a mother is and how important it is for us to be a mother. Quickly before we go, how would you explain a woman being a manager in the home? A woman as a manager also in the home.
That is not contestable. When you look at the house, the man is like a king, while the woman is a queen. And the woman is a manager because she even managed the man.
Yes, of course.
So just like a scholar says, he said, if a woman is a latecomer, the whole household will be a latecomer, starting from the husband and the children. So the woman is a manager in the sense that if she's up and doing, she will be the one to even wake the man up at times and get his food prepared and make him ready for the work. But if the woman is not managing the home very well, the husband will be late and all other people in the house will come late. So he managed personality, human being, and he managed the wealth of the house.
So the owners of a successful home is on the woman.
Solely.
Jazakumullah khairan. I hope our viewers have been able to learn one thing or the other from what our guest here has been able to tell us. Motherhood is something that we have to do every day of our life, and we have to be up and doing when it comes to being a mother. That's all we have for you today. I am Habiba Ibrahim Kukoyi. I hope you've been able to learn one thing or the other. Please do have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبعث بعد الموت لا إله إلا الله آمنت بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر والقدر خيره وشره من الله والبعث بعد الموت لا إله